Okay, I'm John here from Drum Talk TV. I'm here with Ryan, and he's going to show us what he's got on the booth. Okay?
Hello, hello. Ryan here with Drum Nest, and really excited to be here. First of all, this is the first time we've exhibited at the Las Vegas Drum Show. So thank you to Rudy and everybody who made this possible. Yeah, absolutely. This is an amazing event full of just excellent product, wonderful people, and a great community. So first of all, thank you. The product, Drum Nest, is basically a cocktail kit for cajones. So if you're familiar with the old cocktail kits, right? The whole idea was that it was something that was small footprint, easy to carry, right? Convenience factor there.
I'm really in the market for that, by the way.
Well, there you go. And so the other thing, as a drummer that's had to play certain gigs using a cajon, and we have to do that occasionally if we're doing like acoustic work, whatever. If a drum set is one, physically too large or too loud and bombastic, we all use a cajon, right? And so when we play a cajon, I've found that, first of all, I'm giving up 50% of what I can play because I don't have anything to, play with my feet. They're just sitting idly by. And I designed this product really for my personal use as a musician for when I was in those settings. Okay?
Got it. Yeah.
And so it's to give, one, more expression to the instrument, but also convenience, okay? So you've pretty much tripled or quadrupled your sound by using this rig, which I'll explain in a second to you, without your footprint. So everything fits into the bottom of the cajon itself, okay? And I'll go through all those separate pieces. So all you need is just a standard cajon bag, one bag, and you're off to the gig. And you can.
So your whole set is basically one box.
One box, the box that rocks. And you can set it up, if you're pushing it, you can set it up in under a minute.
All right.
So convenience, speed, things like that I think all of us drummers occasionally really appreciate.
I'm really intrigued. I would love to see what we got here.
Yeah, well, let's take a look. So we have,
Get off to the side.
we have a snare drum. So we can also adjust your tension. So this is a drummer mentality here. So when I design things, if you look right here, we have adjustable snares, okay? So if you have a drum key, this is an actual 30-strand snare in here by Pure Sound, okay? So it's very nice and articulate, and you can adjust the tension. Oh.
So as you pick that up, are these standard off-the-shelf snares?
Yes.
Snare, okay.
Yeah, that's a 30-strand Pure Sound snare. And that's not typical of cajones. Usually you'll see, just a couple of wires or that little metal claw that they use, which doesn't give you a lot of contact between the snares and the drum itself.
What would be the diameter or length of those snares?
Yeah, it depends on the unit we're talking about. In this case, in the lap cajon, that's going to be a 12-inch Pure Sound in there. Okay?
Perfect.
I also have the same snares in here, but a 13. Yep, and so that's adjustable right up top. If you want, loose snares or tight snares, same thing on the lap. As far as the attachments, this would be your hi-hat, okay? And you can, Yep, you can adjust your tension, so you could either have it, tight, or if I loosen it up, I can get a washy sound. And that comes off. You could also put like a Wiro attachment, something like this, if you want to do the Latin thing, boom kind of thing. And
that would go along here.
Yeah, this just comes right off right here, and you can pop on the new attachment. This is for side stick. That's like the only time you would want to use a stick.
Can you show us that?
Yeah, so that would be
Oh, yeah.
right, but you wouldn't want to use a stick on the tapa because you break through. So that's why we use these broomsticks and such. So the other thing that I have here is a bass drum, and this guy's kind of fun.
You're telling me that's a bass drum?
This is a bass drum, believe it or not. So you've probably heard of stomp boxes, right? Okay, this one's a little different than most. Most have piezo pickups, okay? I find them a little thin tonally. Can't quite get low enough, robust enough for my taste. So this is a system that's based on electromagnetic pickup.
Oh my God.
Yeah, super low, 33 hertz.
Yeah.
Subsonic, you can feel it in your chest. Okay, so a lot of people will use in a cajon situation a kick pedal, but then with the bracket, right? Which works great, right? But again, it's about convenience. So this is very small, and everything fits. If you come on this way.
You okay, Sam? Come over here. Oh. First of all, I see the thing called a cajon port. Is that yours?
No, right across the way here.
That's kick port.
We have kick port, and kick port also makes cajon port for cajons. And this is going to, just like the kick port, it's going to enhance your low ends.
Yeah.
And it makes a huge difference. I mean, listening to this without the cajon port in versus in, this just really enhances your subs, okay?
Wow.
So what's cool about that is they also make a kick tone microphone, which places right over the sound hole. And I'll show you that on the cajon in a minute. That's pretty slick. But let me introduce you more to what's going on here. So all of these items, from the snare, the attachments, to your kick, everything gets stored in the bottom bay. And
Wow.
it's all tight and felt lined, so it protects your gear. Magnetic latch, and you're good to go. Okay. So again, you have a full sound, a full spectrum in a very small setup.
So let me ask you this: the counterpart of this is that device right there. No, where is it plugged into? Where's it getting?
Good question.
Where's the amp?
Good question. So this is passive analog, so it's going to be an XLR out. Okay. And I'm just using a wireless mic today. So, yeah. So that's my transmitter and the receivers over there, just so I don't have cables around the booth.
Got a huge low end.
Nuts. Yeah, crazy. So, to me, this alone as a product really stands out because I feel like in the market of stomps, there isn't a lot that gives you that type of low frequency. You know?
So, would you sell this individually?
Absolutely. And there's a lot of guitar players that like this product. Oh. Yeah, just if they want an accompaniment, a little kick drum for on the floor or whatever. Yeah, so everything is sold individually as well. The stomps are run at $400. The snares, right here, that's $300. And then the cajon itself is $6. So the whole package is $13.
Not bad, not bad.
Well, I think so for the quality. Everything is focusing. I make these with my dad. We're focusing on craftsmanship. Use all tonal hardwoods from babinga to curly maple, etc. Things are customizable. I did a.
So, where are you out of?
I'm out of Redondo Beach, so I'm in LA. Yeah. And things are very customizable, like I said. There it is. Yeah. And this I designed, you can see there's a breast cancer awareness bow. I have mother of pearl inlay, and then I chose purple heartwood. This is actually the natural color, so this hasn't been enhanced at all. Yeah, purple heartwood.
And so, what kind of woods do you offer?
Yeah, I offer purple heartwood, walnut, curly maple, babinga, ebony. Ebony, however, is a stain because ebony's about $100 per board foot. So yeah, and brown maple as well.
Curly maple.
That's curly. And the other thing I do, this curly right here, is I try to I do hand select all the woods, but I try to look for woods that have character. Okay, you can see this right here has immense grain pattern and just interesting color and character. And it's one of a kind because it's all natural. You're not going to replace that, So this one here is also curly maple, but completely different look. Yeah. And so, again, just focusing on kind of the artisan side of things, making sure the product sounds good for one, which is why we use the tonal hardwoods, but looks nice as well in a situation where you're going to accompany acoustic artists.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. I would imagine that if you get the whole package, all the components, it's cheaper than individual.
At this point, it's same breakdown. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, straightforward. Yeah, that's good.
Yep.
This sounds great. And as a drummer who's old and tired of schlepping equipment, I'm really in the market for this.
Well, thank you so much, and thanks for giving us some time today just to talk a little bit about the product. I think it's very unique. I haven't seen
Absolutely.
anything out there that resembles this setup, okay, where you're combining, various components that are self-storable and getting kind of that full drum set spectrum, but again, in a super small footprint.
This is wonderful. And I'm sure after this gets shown on Drum Talk TV, maybe let's boost some sales there.
That would be a wonderful thing.
All right.
Thanks for having me, John.
Thank you very much, Jeff. Ryan, and here's our card.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Ryan.